Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Art Talk Live, where we are live daily, Monday through Friday mornings, talking about news, hot topics, the NFT industry in the afternoons, talking about artists that inspire us, or talking to the inspire us. Like today, we are so excited. If you're new to the channel, we want to welcome our community of acceptance and celebration. All is welcome here. Art, music, fashion, culture, metaverse, multiverse, whatever's flying is flying. And you know how here at NFT Art Talk. Quickly, before we jump in and introduce you to this guy, what's up? We want to ask you for a little bit of love. If you're with us here on YouTube, please don't forget this video, subscribe to this channel. If you're with us on Twitter, don't forget to post, retweet it, follow. We have GX tagged and all to make sure that you follow this guy that you're about to meet if you haven't met him yet. Really appreciate all of that support. Without further ado, we want to say my name is Moshe, aka DJ Fetus. If we haven't met, above me today is Karthik NFTs in all the places and spaces. And over here is our good homie, the GX, kicking it with us. What's good, my dudes? How's it going, guys? How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah. Yo, what's up, GX, bro? It's good to have you on the show, bro. How's it been?
Man, it's great to be here. I am actually tweeting everything out right now, making sure I get these links up where they need to go on my Instagram. And we're done. Look at that. It's that quick, man. It's that quick. We having a great time, man. It's an honor to be here. I have heard a lot about this show. I have seen a lot of dope-ass artists on this show. So I was excited when DJ Fetus asked me if I wanted to do. I was like, "Are you kidding me? That would be an honor, bro."
Hell yeah.
Hey, man, it's an honor you're here, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's how we like to roll. Just much respect to the tight artists we see in spaces around here, and you're just one of those ones. Like, man, we gotta get him on the show, bro, and do some tight stuff.
Dude,
thank you, man. Thank you.
It was a no-brainer, man. Amy's chilling with us. We got a little good GM from homie MedX Mike chilling out here. He's pretty good. He's all up in the chat. I love it. He's cheering for you, dude. Yeah, we're so excited, and that we got to kick it with you this morning. Oh, DeKinza's is new. What's good, dude? Welcome back. Yeah, we're gonna let people come in. You know, we love this interview format. We're gonna dive into GX, what inspires him, where he comes from, what just everything that he has. That's the goal today. To hear a little bit and what you're doing, as well as like get a little bit deeper than your normal in Twitter spaces. Like I feel like just seeing your face is cool to me right now, man. I've heard your voice through my phone so many times, like on Mondays when you're hosting your space, on Tez Tuesday with Bases. He's like mainstays of my Twitter sphere. So thank you so much for hanging out, man. We're really excited, and
absolutely, man. It's great to be here. Let's go.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy just being in spaces when you hear someone's voice. It's like old school in a sense, man. But it's like you hear just someone's voice, you don't know what they're gonna look like, and then when you see them, you're like, you just even connect even more, man. In my opinion, so just
Thanks,
like
man.
Real tied to like just see it and put like a face to the sound you hear, especially in the creative element we're in, where it's like music and just art and stuff like that. Because as artists, you're looking at that, but then when you actually get to see the person or get to meet the person in like actual real life, it's like, wow, that's real cool. Now you're getting the whole experience kind of thing.
And it's crazy you say that, Karthik, because like old school was, remember like back in the days when I was younger, AOL instant messaging was huge. So spaces was the same, like we still had spaces, right? But there was no audio to it. It was all texting, right? And it's crazy to see that technology evolve. And now, 15 years later, right? Maybe 20 years later for some people, those chat rooms are back, but they're not texting anymore. They're audio chat rooms, right? Where you really come in, you unmute the mic, you can talk, you don't have to be, or on the computer like you was back in the day. So It's cool. It's cool. So best believe 10 years from now, these audio rooms will straight up become video rooms, because that's where the internet connection and the internet speed is going to go.
Right. Well, or they'll become this metaverse, right? Where you're just like doing like your avatar. You know what I mean? Because I think people still like the anonymity, like not necessarily knowing who or where or what I am. Be like their true selves. What a lot of people say.
What I find interesting with these spaces, man, is like it's almost akin to like early radio. So you got to think of it like how revolutions kind of start, right? So it's like when you look at like the early signals of radio and how people communicate through radio, that's how people connected together, right? To like have a common goal and how to spread it out there communicative wise, right? You're kind of seeing that reincarnation of that in the Twitter spaces, in my opinion, right? And exactly what you said, where does it go from there? It's going to go to video, obviously, but see these cycles happen. And if you study media and you understand how broadcast has been, you start seeing these similarities, and then you could kind of project where it's going to go. And I agree with you. I think it's going to be video at the end of the day, man, at least. And then what that's going to be experientially will evolve over time, depending on what kind of devices we have around us.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy to see technology evolve, and it's crazy to see a collaborative experience like this go down from the comfort of my house, because now, like, I look at this and I look at like the way that I have my studio set up. I have a studio in my basement. That's my animation studio. That's where I film everything. I got the whole green screen set up down there with a bunch of props, and from dirt if I need to put it on the ground, to just a bunch of different things down there. I got my main PC down there too. I have my secondary PC over here. But I have set this room up in a way where it inspires me. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I see is artwork of myself, artwork that I've gotten created from the GX universe. It even goes down all the way down there. You know what I mean? And it's all behind the TV. So the first thing I see when I wake up is like this universe that I've created, and it's inspiring. So it's dope to see that this could go down right here, and it's so paper smooth. Like, what? It's cool. It's cool.
Dude, it's a cool way to model your life, man. You know what I mean? And creativity, welcoming in your own expression into the and like the contribution. Like, I know that's really inspired Karthik and I, having known you and seeing you and what you're doing. You're not just contributing to your own creative drive, but you're like supporting all artists, man, and contributing to like a community. Not just like here's some knowledge. Like, I know I've even heard you say like, yo, if you need some to meet this person or that person, like, you're connecting people, it's contagious, dude. So, we're so excited. We're not the only excited to have you here, dude. I'm gonna be honest. One of our homies, DeKenza, he's real pumped for this intimate artist interview alpha. There's some already, dude. In the morning, surround yourself with your inspiration, and No Sleeve up in here giving you some hands up too, man. I'm gonna
hey, we got No Sleeves in the building, man. I want to give a big shout out to No Sleeves. A lot of the animation work and the video work that we do, he helps inspire it. He helps cultivate the scripts. He really helps structure them down. And then when it comes to the video work, a lot of that, most of that is shot by himself. Where one of the other super talented people that we work with is Robin Singh. Super amazing photographer, super amazing videographer. And when No Sleeves and Robin get together, bruh, that combination is lethal, man. And No Sleeves is a lethal weapon on his own. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And it's like inspiring to see other artists, like No Sleeves. When you form a team together, you're supposed to inspire each other, So No Sleeves gives me a lot of credit for wearing a lot of different hats, but then I give him a lot of credit for helping me wear those hats, and then wearing a lot of hats on his own. He went from being a videographer to writing scripts, from writing scripts, he went on to being his own full-fledged musician. So when you're in this team, it's important to assist each other. It's important to push each other, like, there's no point in being a yes man on a team. That's the last thing a team needs, is a yes man. but it doesn't need a hater either. That's not to say, you know, hate on everything just because you don't want to be a yes man. We all have those people that
Right.
just be like, no. Why you saying no, bro? Because I just want to play devil's advocate. What?
Yeah,
You know,
for real.
It's good to have a
For real.
balance, man.
Feedback is important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Feedback is important.
Especially from like artists and stuff like that, man, because it's just like the artists are, you know, your community. And like I said, I believe what you're saying too, man. You surround yourself with a lot of artists. What you end up doing, man, is inspiring yourself daily, because they're creating art, you're creating art, and it's just a constant like cycle of that. And honestly, man, I don't know if I've just been around artists so long in my life, but it's like, man, it's dull if like no new art's being made by other people around me, and I'm seeing how they perform it, how they experience it, man. So totally 100% agree. It's all about this like team community building in this kind of environment we're in, honestly, man.
Yes, bro. And this is, I think, why, you know, I was so attracted to this NFT experience, you know, Web3, so to say, is there's just a lot of Web2 trauma, as I like to call it, you know, from stupid things like worrying about following and follower ratio, you know, which is why I like apps like Clubhouse, which which say that if you don't follow somebody, you're never gonna know what network they're in. You know what I mean? You're physically not gonna have as many clubs to get into because you're not following anybody. You know, so apps like that really put an emphasis on deleting things, like deleting trauma like that from your life. You know, I also like, what I really like about the Web3 experience is what Karthik was just saying about the inspiration. You know, it's like, and I've done shows, man. Me, No Sleeves, Rastallone, our homie Matt Samus. You know, we've literally been doing shows for 5 to 7 years. I know DJ Fetus and Karthik, you guys have been making music just, you know, for longer than that. So real recognize real, you know what I mean? Y'all know exactly the struggle of going through shows and having to connect with everybody at the show, because sometimes you just get lost on that stage. No matter how good your performance is, if your time is incorrect and you're not on the stage at the right time, or if you're not on the stage right before the headliner, so to say, you know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to get lost in that stage. So you have to come up with these different techniques, and, you know, having a merchandise table, or having flyers, paying somebody to hand out flyers right before you perform. You know, like, there's different tactics to go about it, but that's that Web2 trauma, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we know exactly what you're talking about.
Y'all know exactly what I mean.
What we learned, man, over time, just because we were able to play so many shows, bro, is like we would be like, man, we just want to be the band that kind of like hangs out with everybody, you know, like 5 hours before, you know what I'm saying? Say what's up to everybody. Go get something to eat, like right next to the venue. So you're on the block, right? So you just like kind of promote and stuff, man. But yeah, dude, it's totally like I love doing that, man, because it's character building, man. A lot of art, bro. What you realize is like how many experience you've gone through, and how tight can you make the art depending on the experiences you went through. And I always tell everybody I know, I'm like, man, I hope everybody tries out a band for some part of their life, you know, just to go experience that, so they learn so much about like bonding and connecting with people, and just like who's real, who's going to be kicking it with you at the venue for like 6-7 hours and load out. You know what I'm saying?
And even like, I think what a big thing that people learn from just being an artist, or sometimes being even in a trade, like a salesman trade, right, is getting out of their shell. You know, is going through awkward situations, like the mere subject of privacy. You know, a lot of people in today's world think that we live some sort of a private life, and this word privacy exists. You know, the closest you get to privacy is having a lock on your door. That's it. That's the only private thing you have, is putting a lock on your door. Everything else is an open book. And I think when you're an artist, that really, it's shown, you know, and it's emphasized, and you realize that. And it's a lot of ego death that goes involved with it, which is like, I can't hide anything. I can't. There's no privacy. You know, I have to be this open book. More importantly, if I am this open book, I have like a guideline that I always need to live by, you know, because I need to represent something, and we need to represent, because there's no I. When I represent something, you automatically know the type of friends that I hang around with, you know, just by the way that I speak. Just by the way that I act and my determination, you can already tell how the rest of the team that I'm with and I associate myself with is coming. You can even tell the type of moral values my parents have enlisted in me. You know what I mean? So these things just happen when I speak. But that goes to show that there is no I, because when I speak, it's a whole team behind me, a whole group of people that I speak for. So there's never a I. It's always a we. You know what I mean? And that's what we learn. I said it again. That's what we learn. That's the importance of it. Is that's what we learn by being an artist. Is like, wow, like, what's the point of being like, nah, this privacy or I don't want to get into specifics, but we all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own way to go about that. So yeah, man, there's a lot of growth that we go through in being an artist. And like, I think that growth is unique and specific, and not everybody in the world goes through that growth.
Yeah, man. I've been like moderately quiet for this small portion, but I'm gonna have a lot to just dump out here. I think it's the community, man. Like that's and that's the connection, right? Is it's like, especially amongst artists like that are like here for their communities.
Mm-hmm.
You have artists that like try. They have artists that do whatever, right? And then like you have artists that are like, nah, I am a community builder. Like that is what I am here to shout that from this mountaintop,
Right.
And that's the way I always felt on the stage, dude. I was like, this is not about me, us here, like this community of people right now, and so, I think that's something admirable that it sounds like, I know Karthik for it, and you are too. You can just tell by what you're saying, by what you're vibing, you're here to build the universe. You're here to build no matter what, and
Yes.
And that's what we're here. That's why we're all doing it together in this collaborative community. We're all are accepted, and we're here to celebrate. And I want to point us a little bit. I want to hear more about you, man. I want to hear like it started. I know you did it before, but how do you get started in this game? Like what developed this passion? Give a background.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I would love to. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an immigrant. I'm the son of immigrants. I came to this country when I was 4 years old from India, and we lived in a one-bedroom apartment in Queens with 7 people. It was me, my aunt, my dad's sister, my grandma, my sister, and my 2 parents. And along with that, shortly afterward came my 2 cousins. Their parents. And then once they lived with us, that number grew even larger. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, now we're in this apartment with many more people. And it was still always that one-bedroom apartment. We moved a lot. My father would change jobs, my mother changed jobs. So I like to think about it that it was a different place, different location, different friends, but always that same couch. I slept on the couch a lot, so that's where I grew up. And it was watching my father and my parents, help people come in, settle in, and offer room in our one bedroom. We don't got room, but we're offering room we don't have. We'll squeeze in, just so we can help you settle in. And that's where, and you settle in and we'll help you build. And then you can move out and live on your own. And, now somebody helped you here. You had a helping hand. You weren't alone in this evil, evil world. And that's where a lot of this community building came in. I've been looking at it since I was younger. I've watched it work. We went from a one-bedroom apartment with 7 people into a 3-bedroom house with a picket fence in a backyard. That's the American dream. And I've seen it happen. How? Community building. Community building, community building, community building. I can't say it. And the more times I say it, the less it is. You know what I mean? It's one of those things, man. And that was like my driving force in becoming an artist. Was anything I did in my life, I felt a lack of community. I felt alone, whether it was going to college, it was going to school. It's almost like the system sets you up for failure. It puts you alone, it sets you up to fail, so you have to rely on medicinal industries like Pfizer, to give you an edge over everybody else. You know, it creates a hole in you, a void in you that you can't fill with anything except for the stimulus that the media injects in you. And that was a fueling passion and driving reason behind me being like, nah, I want to change that. That's what I'm going to change. You know, not I want to, not I'm going to try. That's what I'm going to change. That's what I'm going in here for. You know, and not to say that everything I make or every song I make has a deep meaning or a deep substance behind it. Sometimes it's just fun, but it's the good amount of fun. You know what I mean? It's that feel good type of fun that you have and that doesn't create a void in your heart, that fills that void in your heart with beauty and happiness, self-love and empathy. You know what I mean? And that was a driving reason behind me becoming an artist, bro. So I made music for like 5 to 6 years, you know, still making amazing music. But then around 3 years ago, I had almost a change in heart where I was like, I want to do something different, something that's never been done before. You know, I really want to take my music, create an experience behind it. And NFTs weren't out at that point. There was nothing, you know, I mean, they were out if you really look at it. Like if you go behind, you know, the history of NFTs, yes, they were out. They were probably even being used as art at that point, but they weren't available to the mass public like that. You know, the average person didn't know about it. So here was me trying to make music, Web 2, not knowing about any of this awesome technology available, right? And those ideas collected, coalesced together, and eventually helped me in creating this universe of content. You know, so GX, which was my moniker, GX became the GX universe. You know, my music, which was just my music, became the center of a universe of content made around my music, from cartoons and animations to action-packed music videos, tie-in comics, to tie-in
Uh,
comics, to
yeah,
you know what I
dude.
mean, to everything, futuristic merchandise. Sorry, wrong place. Futuristic merchandise, you know, and that's what the GX universe revolves around, all centered around my music. So the goal is to make music fun again. That's the goal, to make music fun again, not make it depressing, you know, not make it upsetting, not make it angry, make music fun again, make it energetic. So yeah, I hope I know I went off a little bit on a rant, but I hope I answered, you know, why I'm doing this or how I started.
No, man, you
Yeah,
didn't go
no.
wrong. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, trying not to be like, wait, you just showed me a comic, but I'm gonna say, wait, you comic. All right,
Yeah,
and also, quick side note before I ask, we keep this thing going. I want to remind everyone. I see you drinking your water. I'm drinking my water.
yes.
You know, stay hydrated. Don't forget to drink your water.
Right.
Uh, yeah, man. I think your story. First of all, I want to
Thank
give you a
you.
lot of shout
Thank
out
you.
for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
Your parents come up, so awe-inspiring. Sharing that with us,
Absolutely.
and like energy. Yeah, I mean, you're right in the sense like you've been building communities forever. It even changes my perspective. Look at like my life and how I ended up here, because I don't always think about that of like community building going down in my family, you know,
Right.
and supporting all sorts of people even when it's not convenient, and I think that like really speaks through in how genuine you are in general, not just the way that universe, but like when you talk, when you it's very, very inspiring, man. I really appreciate
Thank you, bro.
it.
Thank you,
You
bro.
know,
That's crazy.
I know
Yeah,
Karthik
man.
probably has stuff to say too.
Yeah, I appreciate your whole story, man. Have mad respect. My parents immigrated over here too, so I feel always connection with people who have that
Yes.
similar type of story. I was born here, so my question really to you is, when you said you moved here at 4, right?
Yes.
So like that 0 to 4 range, do you have any vivid memories? One of just like what was going on, or two, or of like the art or any of that music stuff that could have influenced you that you see maybe now, or you reflect back then and you're like, wow, that did influence me.
So, first, fire question, bro. Fire question. I've actually never been asked that before. So, and like, I've always hoped that I get asked that. So that's lit. It's Here's one thing. It's hard to say if those memories were vivid, because 0 to 4 is such a early age. Do I have memories? Yes. More importantly, I think I have these memories because they're triggered by photos that were taken. We have photos, we have a photo book. So some of these photos, it's almost like I can feel it. I can see what happened a second later, and I can see what happened a second before in this photo. It triggered that memory, because what is a memory? A memory is different ways our brain nerves connect, our neurons are connected, right? Every time our neurons change, our memories change. We add a new memory, so it's literally changing in the way that our brain cells are connected. So it's easy to think that some of those brain cells, or at least one motherfucking brain cell, gotta be connected from when I was 4. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at things. So I do have memories. I don't know if they were triggered by the photo books or if I've always had them, and I don't know if I could call them vivid. But one thing I can say is, when I moved to this country, I strictly listened to music and watched movies from the motherland until I was around 8 or 9 years old. So it was like I used to have a Walkman, with the cassette player Walkman, and it was songs from the motherland, from movies. It was a whole movie soundtrack. I had the movie cassettes, man, and that's what I listened to. So a lot of the music that I make, like, it's definitely influenced by it, from different guitar sounds to different instrument sounds. There's different sampling sounds. There's a lot of influence behind that, coming from the culture, which is always the goal, isn't it? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was paying respect back some way, and then understanding, like, yeah, well, why did I get raised this way? And I think the arts is a good way of, like, making reason of some of that. Honestly, man. So that's real tight.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm biased. I'm a biased party, right? Because I'm raising one of these things. So, like, you know what I mean? My kid is in between the ages of 0 and 4 right now, right? And like, this is the thing: is it's like where you are now. It's possible that it was not shaped by those times, right? Because you have to think, dude. Those are everything that you do now is because of what happened in those times. So I agree with you. I'm one brain cell. Like, do how to walk, you learn how to shit, you learn how to eat, you learn how to talk, and whatever, like, important years. You know what I mean?
Here's a different outlook on that. Here's a crazy outlook on that. What if we didn't learn how to walk? What if we didn't learn how to eat? What if we just simply remembered it again?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Here's a crazy, like, outlook.
And Karthik and I talk about this all the time. He's like asking me, like, basically, like, your kid ever done some, like, trippy shit? Like, he's like he's closest to, like,
what?
the
other side or whatever,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
That's so crazy.
Like, when you're born and when you die, you're kind of these states, right? And honestly, sometimes that does happen. It's crazy. Like, called out when my sister was gonna call me back, but anyways, topic. I'm way off topic now, but I do think it's like, yeah, like, those formative years, man, they shape who you are. Like, and it's really cool because all three of us have, like, these really perspectives that were probably shaped in that time, really young, of music. I know that the three of us are, like, energetically in that space. So it's like things were happening at that, shaping all of this that we have right now. I just know it. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, it's so cool to hear your life and how those times, like, shaped you. But still, we all have this common, even though it was so different for the three of us. You know what I mean? Very special. Hey, I gotta do this real quick. We got some people out here that want to say what's up. We got Fab saying, "What, dude? Sketchy's in the building."
Sketchy in the building. What up, Sketchy?
Some people from, I don't know. We got Jazz Deep saying, "What's up?" You can spit that hot. CC saying, "What's good?" CC in the building. Yeah, we want to encourage you guys, if you have any questions for GX, like, we're here. Shoot them to us in the chat. with us on YouTube. If you're with us on Twitter, this is the perfect time to come to YouTube because you can jump in the chat. You can have your chat up here. You know, we like to party
for
here. So man, it's like, give us a little bit more, and then let's dive into the universe together. You know, I'm curious, like, what you do nowadays to inspire yourself. Like when it's time to like lab to write, or you're like working on a comic, or you're collaborating, you know, to an animation or whatever these. I mean, you're doing all sorts of stuff creative. I'm just curious, like, how do you find your where do you find inspiration?
So, okay, so it's like the inspiration is almost like I've tapped into this frequency of fuel. You know what I mean? And that's what I like to think about it. Like there's a certain frequency that everybody who's on that money-minded wave, everybody who's inspired and determined, there's a certain frequency that everybody's connecting at, you know? And sometimes I'm able, just like every artist is able to, sometimes we're able to tap in to that frequency, you know, and we get like this unlimited supply of determination and energy, you know, that's like, where is it coming from? I have no idea, but it's coming. You know what I mean? It's coming. But one thing that keeps me going, man, is this universe that I'm creating, you know? And hold on, I think I froze. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you, man.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're here.
Yeah, you're good, man.
So one thing that keeps me going is this universe, you know, that I've been creating, that we've been creating. And it started like 3 years ago. It started with me thinking about, okay, I have this dope idea for this cartoon, you know, and I want to put it into play. I want to create this cartoon. I want to put it into play. And I had no tools. I had no ability to do that. You know, I didn't know how to draw. I didn't know how to animate. All I knew was everything about music production, but that doesn't really help you when you're trying to get a visual made, like a cartoon or an animated series, you know? So I had to get back to the drawing board, man. I had to really start rethinking about things. And in me doing that, I was able to form connections with, hold on one second. Guys, I'm frozen on the video that I'm looking at, and it's kind of messing with me. How do
I get you.
Yeah, you're
we can
good.
see you all right.
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah.
And I have
okay,
I
okay,
have like YouTube
open
on another window, so YouTube is good too.
All right, I fixed it. I actually just had to change the tab for a second.
No worries,
because I'm looking at me and I'm just like this.
No worries, bro. Yeah.
I was
it's all good.
like that.
Oh yeah, and Kara says it's still good over here too, so we're good. We're good.
Oh, Kara, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I wanted to. Okay, so going back to that, you know, is once I was making this cartoon series, I was like, all right, how do I contact these animators? How do I find animators? You know, so this is some alpha. I went through Instagram. I literally typed in hashtags on Instagram and I would search it up, you know, and I would try to find animators that fit in, you know, into that description, into the animation style I'm looking for. Then I would contact them and I would build this relationship with them. Does it take time? Hell yeah, something like this takes time. But you're talking about creating a team who sees the same vision as you. So you have to envision their vision, and then you have to see if their vision lines up with your vision. So is it a time-consuming process? Absolutely it is, which is why we're talking about a time span of 3 years, you know? And then me doing that for months and months and months, I was able to get this team together in the motherland, you know? And that team introduced me to more people, and now we have GX Studios, which is located in Pune, India, you know, and they're working on the cartoon series that I was telling you about. So upon me doing this cartoon series, we got the pilot episode done, right? We got a whole 15-minute pilot episode done. I started getting into the process of pitching this out to different distributors and different agents, you know, and I was hit with the question that, what is the GX universe? You know, anytime a director would look it up, when I would approach a director, all they would see is my music, you know, which is great, but how does this director believe that I can create a cartoon series, that I can do what I'm telling him, you know? So this was 2 years ago. So then I was like, all right, pause. It's time to create, it's time to go bigger than this, right? It's time to create this universe of content. So the GX universe was given birth to, with the need of being like, all right, now we got to create this universe of content to match this vision that we're going with, this image that we're going with. So created the GX universe. I started off with creating these super sci-fi action-packed music videos, and when I created the first one, it was just going to be its own music video series, right? Just its own music video, sorry. And after I created the first one, I dropped it. Everybody started telling me, "Yo, when is part 2 coming out? When is part 2 coming out? This is action packed. This is dope." And I was like, "Part 2? Oh, okay. Hold on a second, right?" So then I went back. I created part 2 for it, right? After I created part 2 for it, I started having agents tell me that, "Yo, this is good. This is nice that you're doing this. It's almost not like a music video. It's like a web series." And this is before part 2 came out. So I was like, "All right, stop. Stop. Hold your horses right there. These are no longer music videos. These are web series. We're dropping this as a web series now." And we dropped episode 1, we dropped episode 2, and upon dropping it as a web series, bro, that changed my own mentality. You know what I mean? I started looking at my music as soundtracks instead of music. My music took a backseat to the animation, which also allowed my music to be liked publicly more than it ever was before. Because people people migrated towards the animation more than they migrated towards the audio. Because here you hear something, here you see something. You know what I mean? So people were migrating to the visual now, and now I saw my music taking off more than it ever had. My music video episode 1 got 35,000 views. I had never even gotten over 10,000 views before that, So I was like mind blown. I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I put out episode 2, and now keep in mind, now I'm thinking about my music even differently. I'm looking at my music as a soundtrack. I'm looking at the animation as a bigger picture, right? So then I was like, all right, this is cool. This is an action-packed series for everybody who's 17 and up. But what about the kids? We're not doing anything for the kids yet.
Right.
Can we put the music a tad bit lower?
Yeah, I'll bring it down, man.
Thank you, brother. So, the music is fire though. That's why it's too fire. Cool. I'm thinking about the music. I'm like, damn,
it's all good. It's all good.
But so that gave birth to the Misadventures of Junior. It's this animated series based on the music video series, just for the kids. I started posting that on Reddit. I started posting that on Twitter, on Facebook groups for kids. I started having parents hit me up on my DMs on Instagram, being like, "Yo, my 7-year-old mom, he's excited for episode 3." And I'm sitting there like, wow, this is crazy. Like this, I'm having kids listen to my content. I used to only make content for adults. Like that aggressive, like the adult type vibe, smoking weed, drinking, et cetera, et cetera. So I had to change everything, bro. I had to gear it towards something that's almost family friendly, a little edgy in some points. Like if you look at the action-packed sci-fi series, it's action-packed like Star Wars is. It goes to the edge of what we can do. Then you go to the animated series like The Misadventures of Junior, strictly for the kids. It's that Looney Tunes type of comedy. You know what I mean? And that whole process gave birth to, so we still got the cartoon series going while all of this is happening, right? And now to pitch the cartoon series, I have a web series that I've done with over 50,000 views, 100,000 minutes watched. I have a kids cartoon series that I've done with over 5,000 views on it altogether, So we took the pilot episode that we've done, and we started pitching it out to different producers and directors, and we were able to sign Sir Marco Robinson. He's a credited number 2 producer from Netflix. He's a producer of Legacy of Lies. It debuted at number 2 in the U.S. last year in October on Netflix and U.S. movies. So we were able to sign him on as the executive producer for the project. We pitched it out to different animation studios. We were able to sign on Subodh Mahobi, winner of 2018 Shot of the Year Animation, Bollywood. He's done things like Little Singham, if y'all are familiar with the movie Singham with Salman Khan. Super high Bollywood actors, He's done things with Discovery India, Cartoon Network India, so we signed him on for the cartoon, you know. And yeah, man, we're in talks with a lot of bigger people, you know, for voice acting and things, you know. Can't drop the names until contracts go out, but everything just ended up fitting in the picture. You know, this music video series that I made, which ended up becoming a web series, then the animation series that I made for the kids based on the music video series. It all ended up becoming a part of this universe, you know, a part of the GX universe, which makes me think, wow, what is the future of this? You know what? Where is the future of this going to go? We've signed a Netflix credited producer on our cartoon show. You know, we have a action-packed web series with our music behind it. We have an animated series for the kids, which is an independent series produced and marketed directly by us, you know. So what's the future for this? And in the future, it's almost like it fell in my hands, you know, the NFTs. When I found out about the NFTs, I was like, wow, holy Christ, you know, we're making these action-packed music videos, which I do the graphics for, right? So we have these spaceships in every video that I've done, right? The Junior has his own spaceship. Junior, the animated series for the kids, right? He crashes onto the icy planet in his own spaceship, so he has his. Every episode uh in the music video series, they all have 2 to 3 different ships in it. You know what I mean? So I was like, wow, I can really drop an NFT collection that connects everything together in this fundamental uniform experience. You know, you can own a digital collectible from the animated series. You can own a digital collectible from the music videos. You can own a digital collectible from our comic. The space gliders are also in the comic. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's a little bit about what we're working on. I know it's a lot, but when you're talking about creating a universe, there's a lot that goes into it. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. So it took over 3 years to even come up with this idea, and even put this into play. You know, and it's a proud feeling in my heart that I can stand here in front of 2 well-established artists themselves and be able to talk about my work. Yeah,
Man,
thank you guys.
yeah, dude, your hard work is definitely stuff. And honestly, man, the context of everything, this is what this is about, to be honest, because you know it's hard to like be in it to get that whole story and get the whole story of you and who you are. And man, it's just a ring story.
Thank you.
And you know, it's funny, like you were like, who knows what's next? It's like, well, I know and ask you because whatever you say is probably going to happen. It sounds like so. Keep on manifesting and keep on hustling, bro. It's like, you know, your work really inspires us, and I do want to dive in a little bit. Karthik,
Thank you.
that cool?
Yeah. Just much respect. Everything GX is talking about exactly where the space is going, man. It's a perfect example of like what you need to be thinking, how you need to be going about it, and he's providing groundwork, just straight up alpha on this scene, basically, man, from what he's doing.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of my bad, Karthik. You can go first, bro.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, you want to check out some of your work, or you want to talk about a little bit more about in that vein, or we could go from there, man. I'm just impressed by everything, bro.
Oh, thank you, bro. I just want to touch a little bit on the NFTs and where we plan on going with that. You know, is so the NFTs are exclusive digital collectibles from the universe itself, right? All the NFTs, all of the spaceships, as we call them, space gliders, trademark pending. All of the space gliders actually show up in our animations, in our music videos, you know, in our cartoons, in the comics. So these digital collectibles are actually directly from the universe, you know, and you get the augmented reality file. So you can take pictures with your NFT, you know, you could take videos with your NFT. It's a file that gets straight downloaded onto your phone. You don't need any extra app or anything for it, you know. Super safe, super secure. And yeah, you could upload these pictures just like that, you know, anywhere. Space glider spotted in Miami, as you guys can see it over here. You know what I mean? That's the X bike. That's the space glider in action. And when we first made this, bro, the plan was different. And this is why I didn't really want to put a roadmap out, because I'm still learning myself. So when I put this out, the original plan was, oh, this is going to be part of this elaborate video game, and you're going to be able to use your space glider in other universe and drive around in other universes. But then it quickly hit me that the metaverse isn't even there yet. The technology isn't there yet to do half of this shit. So how can I promise my fans that we're gonna do this when I physically, literally do not have the means to, because they haven't been developed yet? So I was like, wow, what? But we got to do something with these gliders. So in me keeping an open mind, man, and me always wanting to, or us, it's always us, the team, always encouraging me to keep an open mind and keep trying new things. Now we're working with developers on creating this augmented reality app where the space gliders, as in this virtual spaceship, this virtual vehicle, is going to be your first ever virtual remote controlled toy spaceship created. Where you're going to be, wherever your phone can take you, you're going to be riding around your house like this, with your space glider in augmented reality right in front of you, the controls right there on your phone, and we'll make a game out of it where if you crash into something, you lose points. If you can go a long time without crashing, you're gaining points. It'll have the ability where you can physically create race tracks from house objects, like tiles, soda cans, blocks, you name it, you'll create a racetrack out of that. So, and it centers around my music. So we're literally making music fun again. It's a fun experience integrated into the music. And it's something that's never been done on the blockchain, let alone Tezos. So it's something that I'm very excited to bring to the table. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
I love that.
That's
I
real
can't wait
tight.
for that. Yeah, that's really tight.
I had a quick
Thank
question.
you.
What with the space gliders, man? Do you have like was it just always having a fascination with spaceships? Would you look up at the stars, man? Feel like connected to it? Where does that come from, man?
So it comes from two things. It comes from, of course, having an obsession with the unknown, the unexplored, right? That's why I have an obsession with the universe in general. It's unconquestable, it's unexplorable, which means no matter what we try, with all of our human might, technology, power, brains, people like Kanye West thinking they're God, they cannot take over the universe. We can't do it. We're unable to. And it's that which always keeps me mesmerized, which always keeps me like, wow, like, this is crazy. This is what it's all got to be. This is where the future is. We've explored everything on this planet. We've been explored everything on this planet. If you look at the Jewish culture and the religion, right? They talk about how we've had to restart on this planet over and over again. And it's a lot of these personal research, on history and religions and different cultures, which give me my mental, my psychology, my determination, and a lot of my philosophical morals and ideas. It's that we've explored everything on here, not just once, not just in the last 2,000 years, but over the last 2 million years. Humans have been around for 4 million years on this planet. If you go back to the oldest human skull found, it's stupid to think that it took us this long to create some of this stuff. You know what I mean? So we've explored this planet hundreds and thousands of times probably, and it's like the only thing we haven't explored is out there. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to represent. That's what this represents, is always going towards the unexplored, the unconquestable, always trying something new and not being afraid to take a risk, because it's the risks that get us rich, So yeah, that's where the obsession comes from a little bit.
Dude, write that down. That's a beautiful mission, dude. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. None of this is written. This is just genuine answers to your question.
I mean, it's a beautiful, and it's a beautiful mission, because like I too believe that, like, I try my hardest to stand for just that. You know what I mean? Just to be able to myself, to like feel the love, feel the vibe. You know what I mean? And to tell people like a pearl, like it just comes from all that pressure, always comes something really beautiful. And in this
that was beautiful.
When you combine this concept with what we earlier with community, right? That's where this magic happens. You know, that's where the universe grows. Because you're here, community's here to take the challenge, to do this together, to go through our lives and see ourselves to the other side. And that is like, you know, that's what we're here to do. That's why we always say every episode of this show, we say this is a community of and celebration, because it's like we're going to go through stuff, but we're going to accept each other and we're going to celebrate each other. We're going to be like, fuck yeah, go for it, dude. You know, like, because of this manifestation that you're talking about, like with your project specifically, I mean, dude, look, like you said, look, you have a floating shoe behind you. You know what I mean? You just, you think about,
forget about this.
You know what I mean? Like you think about stuff and then dude, you know what I mean? So, you know, when you come here and you share this and, you know, it just inspires, man. And I'm really grateful, you know, but yeah, I do love the floating shoe. I keep on tripping out. I'm like, dude, there's a floating shoe.
Yo, thank you, man. Thank you. This is the prototype,
Yeah.
you know, this is just the prototype. But right now with the supply chain and demand, and this is why people don't understand how the economy and, you know, stupid things like politics really do matter, even at a level of an artistic level, because now I want to get more of these, but it takes around 3 months for the shipment to even get here. You know what I mean? And it's the more I'm paying more for the shipment of these things than the actual cost of the freaking product. And like it's just ridiculous.
Bazing.
Yo,
Sorry about that.
No,
A little side note. Oh, crypto, maybe.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I vibe. But you're connecting the dots, and that's what's real tight. So, hey, man, let's get into the universe a little bit while we shared some screens. So we kind of showed I'm gonna hype man you real quick. Make sure that you follow this guy on Twitter, Instagram. If you're with us on YouTube, which I you know, we want you to. We want to remind you that just below this video right here are all the links to show you. So you can get to GX's Twitter, you can get him, the cartoons, the YouTube videos, some of the stuff that we were just showing you. You can go around on his Twitter. This is how we get this genius right here. So we always start and say, hey, follow him on Twitter. If you're watching, because we are live streaming there, GX is tagged in the post, so give him a follow after the interview. Like the post, retweet it, so more people what GX is spitting. And yeah, and this is with the Instagram, so like go check it out. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about social media at all before we get into like the cartoons and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to also really quickly, I just wanted to add that all the visuals that we've been seeing on this tiny little background screen, because I can't slide it over here, they are all like right now, this is a vlog. You know, this is an old GX season vlog. This is what I used to put out. All right, hold on a second. This is actually a very special moment in this vlog, because this is how my song got put on Hot 97, right?
See if I can. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I'm going to rewind this by like 2 seconds, all right, just to show everybody how things really work out. So this is me playing it at the show, right? I'm performing this at the movement spot. This is DJ Drewski's movement spot. Then this was reposted by the promoters, right? This is the repost by the promoters who organized this event. They're called Artist Vibes, right? And you see me reposting Artist Vibes and saying and tagging DJ Drewski in it, saying this is a hit. I need this song on the radio. And then DJ Drewski reposted that and said, what you think? Is it radio ready? Right? So this is DJ Drewski's Instagram post. And this is one more Instagram story that I posted telling everybody to hit up DJ Drewski. And there it is. That's the video of it actually on Hot 97 being played on the radio. So social media, man, bro, people hate on social media to the end of the day, but I don't think people understand that people like us were broke before social media. You know, like the term starving artist was pre-Instagram. There's no such thing as a starving artist anymore. You know, that was a pre-Instagram, and social media has a lot of its evils in it too, man. But the way that I look at social media, and this is a very controversial point of view, but I'm gonna say it anyways, is I like to think of the internet as the astral planes. You know, where if you've done your study on the astral planes, and the astral planes is this plane of knowledge that all humans connect to, which that idea of did we learn how to walk or did we remember how to walk comes into play, right? The astral planes. And like even if a person's going, you know, there's something wrong with a person, they're mentally ill or something, you know, Lord help people like that. But even people like that remember how to eat. You know, things like that is what I'm talking about. You know, knowledge like that is preserved. So the astral planes is like this plane of knowledge that people connect to. But if you don't know how to traverse the astral planes, you're going to get lost in there and your soul will not be able to return back to your body. So that's the internet. I've seen just as many people get lost on the internet as I've seen people find themselves on the internet. You know, so it's a gift and a curse, but that's what knowledge is. You know what I mean? That's you could misuse that knowledge, or you could use it to your benefit and the community's benefit, which is back to the community. You know,
Dude.
so yeah, man. Just want to throw that out there about social.
No, I totally connect with that, man. Yeah, in the East, they call this thing a Akashic record. Basically, everything's imprinted in all space and time, right? So this whole her terminology of privacy, like you were stating, like is it private or not, or are these thoughts flowing through? In the East, they have this thing called Akashic record. So you have all these vibrations kind of living through that we're all funneling. That's what they believe over there, and I totally understand what you're saying, man. Also, when you're doing art at like a frequency level, and me and Moshe know this is just like jamming in a band and all just jamming out with multiple people. Actually, it's like some points when you're jamming out and you're not like thinking about, hey, this is I'm going like from A to C and all these kind of like modern terms, right? But you're just feeling the vibe. It's such a flow through, and we would have so many jam sessions where we're like, I can't even like, what were we just playing almost like, but it was just such a flow through where it kind of talks about exactly what you're saying. Is it something out there flowing through us that's, you know, helping us communicate, or are we coming up with these things on our own? I always tend to say like these things are out there. We're just kind of like vibratory instruments that are kind of communicating out to the rest of the world.
Yes.
Yeah, and
bro,
I think like you know, something is it's like I totally agree with you. Instagram, social media, the internet, all of these tools, like all of it, it's here to like help artists to be starving. But I'm not going to let you sell yourself short, my friend, because to have the success on social media, you can't be lazy, bro. Let that be as controversial as you want it. You can't be lazy, dude. You got to show up for your community, man. And when you're strong on socials, you got to show up for them a lot. You know, to even be able to get the DJ to pay attention to what you're doing, or to get yourself on the show so that you can perform the song, so that you can do all like you're hustling. You know what I mean? And so I totally hear what you're saying. However, I'm not going to let you sell yourself short at all, dude. It's hard to do that, you know? And like, I know all, and weird the coincidences of how they happened. Like, I know Rick and I, there was like a run of South by Southwests where a show in, whether it was official or not, we found ourselves on the news. Like we were on a CNN clip. Shit. We were like, and like one year it was like they filmed us playing, and then like another year, like this is kind of more fool got shot right outside of our show. But you see, like, but still like interviewing people at our show. You know, they're like, oh, I just left the Our Band show at South by West, and you know, but which is like insanity. I'm not trying to say like we channeled this. It's just like this overarching point of like the game to win the game, dude. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Like, you know what I mean? Or else you're not. And to understand it, but show off a few things, and then we actually have some questions for you, us and from others. You guys, this is his website, GX Universe. Become a citizen. Go to that link remind you again, just a for you, man. I got to do it. All the links are in the description below. So you can come to the YouTube video. If you're on Twitter, just go profile. It's pinned to the top. And you can get to the YouTube, all these links to his website. And also, we got the website and the Misadventures of Junior, which you sent us. Play some of it on the show, but to be 100% honest with you, YouTube kind of hates on us when we do stuff like that. So really told us a lot about them. So we're just going to encourage everyone to go experience them themselves. Because that's so tight that you have these cartoons, like, just amazing, man. They're professional. They're really well done. And your music. I mean, the whole thing. So we did a lot of screen sharing there. I took people on a journey through little hype clips of the. I'm sorry that we can't watch the trailer together. I'm really sorry about that, but from the crowd, so I'd like to get to it if it's cool. So do you let yourself take time away when you're not flowing, or is to keep yourself moving even when it doesn't feel easy?
That is a great question. Who asked the question?
Kara. This is my sister, actually.
Kara, shout out to you, Kara.
Thank Family you. Fair up in here.
It is. Let's go. No, thank you though for listening. Thank you though for being here, supporting, and asking that question. I just wanted to, know the name so I can address you personally. So, Kara, it's difficult sometimes to definitely keep that momentum going, and like I said, it's difficult to always stay tapped into that frequency of determination and inspiration, right? So I tell everybody, don't ever force yourself. This isn't a chemistry project, where if you memorize enough lines and equations, you're gonna get 100%. There's nobody grading it. And in fact, here's the crazy thing about music is the same person that gave you 100% one day might give you a 30% the next day because they were in a different mood and they weren't in the same mood as they were when they first heard your song. So they didn't vibe with it. They didn't migrate to it as quickly and as dopely, So it's like sometimes it's good to take a break, and literally take a break, travel. That's what I like to do when I take a break, travel, Sometimes traveling is not an option. Sometimes it's too expensive. So another thing I'll do is put on a different outfit. I'll go somewhere and different people will look at me. You know what I mean? And that's really something that I do, and I do that often. I'll wear bright colors. Let me show you guys this shirt that I just bought. Hold on.
Love the cartoon in the background too.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's what you're saying, man. It's like surrounding with what inspires you is something else.
And I got this T-shirt the other day.
Rugrats.
Oh no,
yeah.
Dude.
It's a color that I wouldn't wear all the time. You know what I mean? But like the fact I knew it. I was like, yo, one day I'm gonna be going through something and I'm gonna be like, I need this shirt to just cheer me the fuck up.
Yeah.
So I got it. It was $5. It was a lot cheaper than taking a trip out somewhere, and it did the same thing. I wore it to the mall. I got compliments from a bunch of kids who I know grew up in the 90s,
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it cheered me up.
Dude, I just showed my kid that
things like
show for the first time, bro.
Oh, how do you like it?
My kid's Rugrats. Dude, of course he loved it.
Let's go.
There's like a whole reimagination of the show, dude. The animation style, to be honest.
Oh, you're talking about the one on Paramount.
Yeah, dude. It's like a whole new version of the show. It's wild. I forgot how much of that show was just like them being chased, like their crew being chased around like all over the place. Like that's like the whole show. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. You know what
sorry,
my favorite
I got
was?
way off topic, dude.
Nah, that's cool. My favorite one, just to really quickly touch on it, was the Wild Thornberrys and the Rugrats movie. when the Wild Thornberrys and the Rugrats got to get that movie. I remember as a kid, bro, that was like Christmas for me. I was like, holy shit, they're doing this. But yeah,
bro,
man, you know, funny shit.
Bro, like my wife was like singing the Wild Thornberry song to me the other day, dude. Was just like recanting, like, you don't remember this song? I was like, nah, I don't. Yeah, man. You know, hey, I gotta show a little love too, man. Like, just I'll bring us back in. You know, man, like, I can totally relate to what you're saying with the flow. You know, like getting into the flow. So like you need to be a sponge, you know, and put yourself out there and like other people's energy and how they react with your shirt, even something as simple as that, or how they pass, you know. And sometimes, and just to be reminded that like you're not the only person in this world. There's all this whole world, you know, like so many things are happening in this one moment. And sometimes we're all really hard on ourselves when we're not like hitting that creative output or any sort of output that we want. We get really hard on ourselves. We forget how many people out there are here to support us. That's another thing I really love about the NFT space and the NFT space and the space really where we met you, is because people that just show up to be around whenever you need it. Like, yeah, man, just meet me in the chat room. You know what I mean? Or hit me up on Discord or whatever it is, you know. And it's like we're all from different backgrounds, and I think it's a really cool way to think when you apply that to like where our creative flow. It's really tight.
Absolutely, bro. It's crazy that, you know, there's really this community online, and it's beautiful that now we translate it from online and actually I get to see you guys, you know. I know for a fact there's going to be eventually a festival either here or in Chicago or somewhere where we're all going to actually meet up in real life, dap each other up, give a big hug, you know what I mean? Be like, what's good?
Hey, you heard it here first. You're the alpha of the show. We want to do it. I know you want to do it. I know Basis wants to do it. I already started telling Stilo, like, yo, y'all get the show. We should do a tour, bro. Because Karthik and I, right? So we do a tour. We'll come up. We'll play some shows with you here. Just play some shows with us. The West Coast. Let's fucking go. All right, it's done. You heard it here. You know, we're manifestors here. Yeah, I'm in. Hey, also, I want to give some people in the quick shout out. Let's go, dude. Well, Audio Land, we couldn't agree more. Amazing guests and such a fun show having you here. Jana out here and hard. She loved having you here. Man, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for being with us and being engaged in this episode with us. And thank you so much for hanging out. So before out of here, though, we always got to ask. Well, we got two things. First, we got to ask. Then we all have to give our closing remarks. We have to leave the people with something. So, but the question is, man, what's next, dude? Like, what is it that you're manifesting next? What's the one thing that even you think is impossible for the GX universe that we can bring out into the world right now, dude?
Damn, your ass. Okay. See, because
everybody sits up in their chair. Everybody sits up.
I'm debating, like,
ready.
Should I say it? Should I say it? Because if I say it, there's almost a promise that, you know what I mean? Like, what comes out of your mouth, bro, it's word of mouth, bro. There was a point where fathers used to marry, you know, used to wed their daughters based on the word of mouth, man. That shit is important. So if I say it, it's something that I gotta keep, you know, which it's like, but okay, what's next in short form is the cartoon series that we've been working on, you know, the GX Universe cartoon series, with the tie-in comic series, is going to be coming out onto your favorite streaming platform. You know, I'm going to announce what platform it is all when the time is right, but just know it's coming out on your favorite streaming platform. And from there, after that, what's immediately next is the augmented reality GX Universe app. So you can actually use your space glider as, you know, as a toy, as the first virtual toy. Because when I was young, as a kid, we used to drive around with RCXD remote control Hot Wheels cars all the time. Now, as a grown man, I don't find the need to mine our planet and destroy our planet for its precious resources just so a child can have a toy car. You know how batteries are mined and where they're stored? Because that child is going to throw that battery in the garbage can. And after that, that battery acid is going to be in our earth and our planet. So instead of that, let's make it an environmental friendly experience where we can do this without having to destroy our beautiful Mother Earth. So that's one of my biggest goals, is to actually develop this, fully develop this and release, because development is crazy, but we all heard about development hell. So don't want to get trapped in development hell. So not only develop it, but release it properly, right? And yeah, man, the goal for the GX universe is really become this universe of content that's not just centered around my music, but centered around other artists' music also. You know, we want to, we strive to provide these tools to underprivileged artists. Upon me making this cartoon series, I realized that companies like companies use go to countries like India and other places and outsource their animation and their everything, and we don't ever get the credit for it. Never. Now, once we want to work with somebody else, all we have left is a word of mouth that we work with Netflix. Our people never get the credit, and our people are trapped as freelancers for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? And that's what we strive to change right now, man, is that we want to bring that credit to everybody, utilizes blockchain technology to actually, hopefully in the future, get the backgrounds as NFTs from the background artists, get the animations from NFTs from the animation artists, put it all together in a software which is NFT integrated, and then put the animation out as an NFT, had that cartoon out as an NFT. You know what I mean? And then by that time, the word NFT is going to be
Preach,
outphased.
dude.
It's that word
Dude.
NFT is going to be outphased, man. And that's the goal of this, is to be able to make sure that we don't get robbed no more.
Yes. Yes.
That's it, bro. That's the goal.
I'm just gonna keep saying yes, and I'm up
Yes.
the amen. I'm gonna bring back the amen from earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I am so excited for everything that you know Karthik is too. I mean, honestly, our whole community is like, this chat is so excited. No Sleeves is excited.
No sleeves.
Jazz Deeps loves your shirt. Anna, people love your gear.
Hey.
You know what I mean? You know what, man? I see you, like, you're going to be way more successful than any storm. You're going to be on all the streaming platforms. They're going to be bidding for your next
Thank
series,
you.
dude. And Washington is going to voice one of your characters. You heard it here. I'm watching that shit, and maybe even his son gets in the game, and it's like a father-son thing. I thought that, but I thought it just jumped out at me right there. And like, dude, I really believe you're gonna have so much success. And like, just your vision is strong, your intentions are pure, your background is like one of like that just shows you the value of hard work. And like, man, honestly, you are such an inspiring cat, dude. I can't wait to like dap it up in real life. I can't wait to roll one up with you, dude. I'll see. I'm an East Coast, you on the East Coast at some point. I can guarantee you that. Or if you're ever in Texas, you have a home here, dude. Like, you just hit us up anytime. We, yeah, I think we'll wrap it up. But honestly, I hope to have you back here. I'd love to check in with you again and see what's going on. A space like I kind of missed out on the first run. I can't wait for you to drop more so I can join the community in that way personally. Quickly, I want to ask him that's chilling. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Like, this is amazing. And if you're here, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, notification bell, so you know when we're live, whenever we have any more videos coming up, all the same thing. But more importantly, we're with you to please join this amazing community that GX has. Website that's in the description below. Get on his email list. Follow him on Twitter. Come hang out with us on Monday. I feel like I knew GX without his face, just because like every Monday is like fostering this amazing course from all over the world, talking about animation and music. Follow so that you can join that those conversations, and you too can talk to questions you want. Like, that's how available this guy is, and just storied career. Doing radio and has an animation ready and available. Has a wholeness around it. We couldn't agree more with the bases. This guy is the truth, dude. This guy is the truth. So, true fashion. I'm gonna let Karthik close this down because he always leaves us with like pearls or sages, or he can pass it back to you. I'm gonna let one of you guys do it. But my marks is that I want to remind everyone to stay hydrated and drink your water. That's very important. You see GX and I slamming massive water. Cheers, brother. Cheers,
bro.
Everyone at home. And I want to remind everyone that like inspiration can be found anywhere. I hope that here this little hour or so with us inspired you, because I can't wait to go write some music tonight. I can't wait just to keep getting to this community. This has been amazing. Really cool.
Yeah, GX, everything you're doing is badass, man. Impressed me, inspires me, and yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. I think you're on the correct path, is creating animation, tying the music into it, always having the music as like an inspiration within all of that. And yeah, another big thing why I wore the Rock shirt today is they were saying he's a big representation in Hollywood right now, actually, of the Asian American Pacific Islander community. Normally, when you see on these Western media census reports, they have that as a check mark, is like both of our cultures, right? But it's all, I was reading articles like we need more representation in this Western media from like this Indian background. So that's why I really love everything you're doing, man. So you just keep doing that, and I hope everybody can come together and support a little bit more representation in that community.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that, man. This was an amazing experience, chatting with you guys. This was more than an interview, because I've done a lot of interviews, but sometimes a lot of it just becomes like a Q&A, and it's not as genuine. We touched on a lot of things like that were super genuine, and I've talked to you guys previously before, and I know we all literally vibrate on similar frequencies, if not the same fucking frequency. You know what I mean? So just like Fetus said, man, thank you so much for having me. Can't wait to meet y'all. Can't wait to roll one down with you. I'm gonna offer my crib too, Mikasa, Sukasa. Y'all in Jersey, y'all in New York, hit my line. You got a crib, it's not the biggest crib, but it's a crib. You know what I mean?
It's all good, man. It's all good, bro.
It does what it needed to do, So yeah, man, we're gonna rock out when you guys are here. It's dope. I did want to say, Mondays we host an animation and music space on Twitter where we talk about the new technology, and people do share their art, and we play a lot of new music and stuff. Then on Tuesdays, Bases and I host. Bases is the host of it. I'm the co-host of it on Tuesdays. We host Tezos Tuesdays, which is humongous on community. Humongous on community. Bases is, he called me the truth. I think Bases is the truth when it comes to community. So it just goes to show you, man, hype each other up, always support each other, always help each other build. Like Fetus said, man, stay hydrated and spread love. That's it. That's what I got to say. Let's go.
Let's spread love. All right. This was amazing. I too agree. Let's spread love. Let's spread love. Monday and Tuesday spaces with bases. Yeah, man. Hey, we appreciate you, GX. We really, you guys, please take the time, go join this amazing universe that he's creating. As always, we spread love and we share, people, man. So peace, y'all. We'll see you next time. Actually, so we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. That's for show. For some new topics. And then in the afternoon, we're going to be doing the jam room. You can come see some of our new music. It's just a little bit of each week that we show some of our stuff. Really appreciate everybody here at NFT ART Talk and the GX universe. Thanks so much, guys.